When I moved into Willow Creek, I wanted peace, a clean start. But 2 days in, I got cited for my trash can being too close to the curb. That's when I met Karen, the self-declared queen of the HOA. She thought she could control the neighborhood with fear and fake authority. What she didn't know was who I really was. After 20 years in federal service, I didn't expect to be battling over mulch color and mailbox reflectivity. But here we were. My name is James Carter, former federal agent. After retiring early, I bought a modest house in Willow Creek, a quiet, HOA-governed community that promised safety, uniformity, and peaceful neighbors. What I got instead was Karen Lockwood. She wasn't just on the HOA board. She was the HOA board, self-appointed president, self-declared neighborhood compliance supervisor. And, if you asked her, probably one email away from being the mayor. Her white SUV patrolled the streets like a mobile surveillance van, complete with an HOA security magnet on the side and tinted windows that didn't quite hide her binoculars. I got my first citation 2 days after moving in. Trash bin not aligned precisely with curb. Violation 2-7. It was printed, laminated, and signed in cursive like a diploma. I laughed, at first, but then came more. Excessive tire shine on driveway, unapproved mulch tone too red, lawn too short, mailbox too reflective. That last one actually made me pause. I had worked cases involving sovereign citizen groups that weren't this obsessive. The final straw came when I pulled into my driveway to find a man mid-30s, buzz cut, wearing a makeshift badge and combat boots blocking my car. He pointed. "This driveway is under HOA review. I was told you're a potential disturbance. I drive a silent electric vehicle and rarely leave the house." I said nothing, just reversed, parked down the street, and walked home. Then I installed cameras, motion sensors, a secure cloud upload system. The thing about being watched is, I've spent a career watching back. Over the next 3 weeks, I documented a rotating cast of so-called HOA security guards stationed near my house. Karen herself snooping in my yard, measuring things with a clipboard at 552A. Flyers placed on my mailbox urging neighbors to watch out for disruptive influences. All of it was recorded, so I started quietly filing, not complaints, evidence. I filed reports with the county clerk's office, the zoning commission, a friend at the local sheriff's department, even sent a courtesy notice to a federal HOA oversight contact I still had in my old Rolodex. But Karen wasn't done. She announced a new special compliance committee with expanded neighborhood enforcement authority. There was no record of such a committee in any HOA charter or bylaws. No vote, no community involvement. When I asked for meeting notes, she told me it was a need-to-know initiative. That same night, I spotted 2 unmarked vehicles parked across the street. Men loitered near my mailbox, talking into walkie-talkies. They thought I was just another suburban retiree. The next morning, I walked right up to one of them. "James Carter, federal agent. You're trespassing on federal property if you're interfering with my mail. Step away." His face went pale. I lifted my phone. Smile for the sheriff's department. He bolted. That footage was sent off before breakfast. What unraveled next was both predictable and stunning. I subpoenaed HOA budget records through a formal community petition, not as a federal agent, just as a resident. What we uncovered: thousands spent on private security, with no licensed contractors on file. Payments routed through personal accounts tied to Karen's extended family. Landscaping budgets inflated by 60%, but with no visible work ever done. I wasn't alone anymore. Neighbors began coming forward. She fined us for having wind chimes. She removed my pride flag while I was at work. She said my daughter's chalk drawings were vandalism. And then came the final break. A longtime resident, Mrs. Dobbins, revealed Karen had rewritten parts of the HOA handbook without a vote and mailed them as official amendments. Several were digitally altered documents never approved by anyone but her. I compiled everything into one neat, time-stamped, well-organized file. Then I submitted it through proper channels to the local HOA review board, the county auditor, and a contact at the Utah's Department of Housing and Urban Development. It was time. Karen called for a crisis meeting. Framed as a chance to address misinformation, the clubhouse was packed. Residents were tired of whispers. They wanted clarity. Karen opened with a speech full of thin smiles and buzzwords. Community values, security, external threats. Then I stood up. I didn't say much. I simply handed a USB drive to the board president and said, "You should see this before the next fiscal review." He plugged it in. The projector flickered. Video clips of Karen entering private property, bank statements with misused HOA funds, a spreadsheet tracking citations 90% issued by Karen herself, mostly targeting 6 households, a copy of her fake special committee document complete with metadata proving she wrote it alone. Silence. Then a voice in the back. "She charged me $150 for the wrong shade of begonias." The room broke into uneasy laughter. Karen stood frozen, blinking rapidly, muttering something about misinterpretation. The board voted to suspend her pending investigation. The sheriff's department opened a case. The audit went public. Weeks passed. Karen resigned for personal reasons. The fake security team vanished overnight. A community vote was held to restructure the HOA bylaws with public input, transparency, and a new rule. No individual may hold executive board power for more than 1 year without a 75% approval vote. I declined a position on the new board. Instead, I helped convert the former HOA office into a community resource hub and mini library. We even added security cameras, this time facing outward, not inward. Life in Willow Creek is peaceful again. The kind of peace that's earned. Kids ride bikes without fines. Neighbors wave. We have cookouts now, and every so often, I catch someone passing by my yard, pausing to glance at the camera, then smiling, because they know, this time, the watcher was watching back.